Wealth, money, and success are goals that everyone strives for, but only a few manage to achieve them. Today we're going to talk about how you personally relate to money. Does that sound good? Let me start with this question. Have you ever wondered why some people accumulate wealth while others continue to struggle with debts and bills year after year? Have you ever noticed this pattern? Why do schools teach us things that we will never apply in real life but completely ignore the topic of money? Why does this happen? If schools had taught you about money, you might already be rich. But if they didn't, then I will. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Now, you will learn how to become successful in life and business, how to increase your personal finances. Any poor person who does this becomes rich in 6 months. What you've never been taught about money throughout your life, you're about to learn in this short video. Get ready for an eye-opening journey where we'll uncover the true mechanics of money way beyond just saving and investing. Let's dive into personal finance, entrepreneurship, and more. Are you ready to change your perspective on money? Let's start with something simple. Is money inherently good or bad? From a young age, we're often led to believe that money is something negative, but you need to challenge your beliefs about it. In films, wealthy people are frequently shown as corrupt or dishonest, and you might think, I don't want to be like that, so I'll stay poor. However, money itself isn't good or bad. It's people who make good or bad choices with it. Money simply enhances what they can do with it. I could use a sum of money for harmful activities, or I could use the same amount to provide meals for the homeless. In this sense, money is merely a tool, but we decide how to use it. How often have you heard that the rich won't enter heaven? I've heard it countless times. You might then conclude, if the rich don't enter heaven, I'd rather stay poor. We need to rethink such beliefs because, in truth, many wealthy individuals are hardworking and honest. That's why they've earned people's trust. Would you do business with someone who's dishonest? Of course not. So why would others? People trust the rich because they've proven themselves trustworthy. Of course, there are dishonest rich people too, some who've accumulated wealth through illegal means. But I want you to understand that the majority aren't like that. When the media finds a corrupt wealthy person, they publicize it endlessly, giving the impression that all rich people are dishonest, which is far from the truth. So say it out loud. I will be an honest rich person. I've met honest and dishonest wealthy people, as well as honest and dishonest poor people. Rethink this, because you'll never become what you despise. If you hold negative views about the rich, you'll likely never become one. So why not adjust your outlook? Now, here's another question. Will the rich get into heaven or not? Let me explain. The Creator made everything, including all the wealth in the world. God says, the silver and gold are mine. Now, how could a God who owns everything want his children to suffer? We need to reconsider our thoughts because the God of the Bible is abundant in grace, love, and mercy, and his wish is for his children to prosper as well. One crucial thing you need to understand is that money belongs in your bank account or pocket, not in your heart. Say it with me. Your money should stay in your pocket or your bank account, but never in your heart. Used wisely, money can even help you grow spiritually, as you can use your abundance to help those in need. Some people think so modestly that they pray only for their daily bread. But let me ask you, if God needs you to feed someone who's homeless, what will you do? If you only ask for enough to cover your needs, how will you help others? If God wants you to financially support a missionary overseas, what will you do? Only focusing on yourself, praying only for your own needs isn't selfishness. It's a mistaken view about money that needs correcting. Instead, when you pray, ask God to bless your finances so abundantly that you can live comfortably and help others too. So we've already dismantled two myths. Not all rich people are dishonest, and the rich can indeed enter heaven. Are we on the same page? If so, write in the comments, "I understand." Now here's an essential lesson about money. It doesn't tolerate disrespect. Money is a great servant, but a terrible master. Learn to control it, or it will control you. You must consciously manage what comes in and goes out of your financial life. Know exactly how much you owe and fix bills each month, and try to reduce any unnecessary expenses. There's this thing called a credit card, and for many families, it's a nightmare because they believe the card's limit is an extension of their income. But no, my friends, it's not. Understand this. If you max out your credit card, and those expenses surpass your monthly salary, congratulations, you've just hurt your finances, and it will cost you. Every time you swipe your card, ask yourself, do I truly need this? If you pause and reflect, you'll realize that most of the things you buy with a credit card are non-essentials. I've never met anyone who went into credit card debt because they had to buy groceries for the month, but I've seen many who got into debt buying a new phone, a TV, or clothes they didn't need. Some people are natural spenders and have developed a habit of reckless buying, but this must be corrected if you aim to become rich one day. If you prefer to remain poor, well, then you don't need to change a thing. Here in Brazil, we often say the credit card is a quick fix. It's a saying we use when something offers a temporary solution to a problem. For instance, if my car breaks down and a friend gives me a ride, he did me a favor. Many people view the credit card as that quick fix, but be careful, because today's favor may come back to haunt you tomorrow. Financial life operates on 4 levels. Let me explain them, and you'll see where you fit. The first level is the worst. The person earns their monthly salary, does the math, and realizes they've spent more than they've earned. The numbers don't add up. They earn $2,000 but spend $2,500. I imagine people in this situation can barely sleep at night. It's a shame, and it can tear families apart. I've seen countless relationships break down, not for lack of love, but because of constant arguments over money. Let's treat our finances with more care. The second level is when people spend everything they earn. They get their paycheck, pay off their debts, but there's nothing left, not even for a small treat like ice cream. This model also needs fixing because it's not living, it's just surviving. The third level is a little better. The person pays all their bills, manages to save a bit, but they don't know what to do with that money, so they either waste it on non-essential items or leave it in a savings account where inflation slowly erodes its value. The fourth level is what I recommend to everyone. The person pays all their bills, saves some money, and then uses that surplus to multiply their wealth. In my case, years ago, before I became a millionaire, I took the extra money from my paycheck and bought products to resell, buying for $50 and selling for $100. In this way, I multiplied my income through entrepreneurship. But if you don't have an entrepreneurial mindset, you need to invest to operate at the fourth level financially. First, make sure you have some money left over, then make it grow. Take your surplus and invest in stocks with growth potential, or by real estate funds. These are variable income assets, so while the returns are higher, there's also more risk. You could also invest in something safer, though with lower profits. Lower profit is better than none. For example, you could invest in government bonds. Later, search on YouTube about how to invest wisely. A good investment should be safe, profitable, and liquid. Now let's talk about money itself. Money has 5 levels. Don't confuse these with financial levels. Those are the 4 we just covered. The 5 levels of money are as follows. The first level of money is earning. This is essential. You must find a way to generate income. The second level is investing. If you have some money, Set aside a portion to invest, because that's how your wealth will grow over time. Even if it's a small amount, it's still worth it. For example, if you make 100, invest 10. Make 200, invest 20, and so on. The second level of money is investing. The third level is saving. Before making any purchase, ask yourself if you really need it. Most of the time, the answer will be no. If you resist unnecessary purchases, you'll save more money. Let me be clear. I'm not encouraging you to be stingy or deprive yourself of things you enjoy. If you feel like treating yourself to pizza one night, do it. You deserve it. But if you're about to buy a new pair of shoes when you already have 150 pairs at home, then save that money. It's an unnecessary expense. After all, you're not a caterpillar. You only have 2 feet. The fourth level of money is setting aside part of your income, like personal tithing, because saved money acts as a magnet, attracting more money. For example, when you turn on the tap, water flows down the pipes and into the river, which eventually flows into the ocean. Water goes where there's already water. Hatred goes to those who hate, love goes to those who love, and money goes to those who already have money. When you tithe, you're saying, I have money, and that attracts more of it into your life. The fifth level of money is spending. This is where you pay your bills and buy the things you want. Most people, however, only operate between the first and the last level. They earn money and then spend it. If you stay on that track, you won't get far. Let's discuss how you receive money. Do you earn it as a salary or as profit? Here's something important. Profit is better than a salary. When you work for someone else, you cap your earnings potential, as a salary is simply payment for your hours. But your hours are limited, and once your working hours end, so do your opportunities to earn. That's why it's better to work for profit, not a paycheck. For example, when you sell a product, you generate profit, and products can be unlimited, unlike your time. Many people say, I don't like selling, but the reality is we're all selling something. If you work a job, you're selling your time. And if someone's willing to pay for your time, it's because they're making even more money from the work you do. Now imagine if you use that time to build something of your own. Become passionate about sales, because selling is one of the best ways to do business. Avoid selling your time, because time is the most limited resource we have, and once it's gone, you can't get it back. Many people spend their whole lives working for a salary that isn't even that large, sacrificing their dreams to make someone else's come true. That's why you need to focus on building something that belongs to you. If you don't chase your dreams, someone else will hire you to achieve theirs, and in exchange, they'll give you a salary while keeping the profits for themselves. To attract wealth into your life, you must learn the balance between giving and receiving. Some people are generous givers but struggle to receive, often out of pride. Others are great at receiving but poor at giving. These are mediocre mindsets. Learn to master both, because giving and receiving are like the two halves of a wheel. The wheel can't turn with just one. To make the wheel of wealth spin faster, both sides must be in harmony. Take a gardener as an example. He prunes the trees so they'll produce more flowers and fruit. Sometimes you need to prune the tree of wealth to make it flourish more. Giving has two forms. When you give to those in need, it's charity. When you buy a gift for a friend who can afford it themselves, that's generosity. The key is to do both. If you only give to the needy, you might train your brain to believe that you must lack something to receive. But when you give to those who don't need it, you tell your subconscious that you can receive even when you're not in need. Now that you've learned how to give, it's time to master receiving. When someone offers you something, accept it. Doing so makes the giver feel good because their brain releases dopamine, a hormone linked to happiness. If you refuse, you're taking away their joy. For money to flow smoothly in your life, you must keep the wheel of giving and receiving turning. The world keeps evolving. What kind of work do you do? There was a time when people primarily worked on farms because that's where jobs were. Back then, those who owned the most land or servants were in control. Then came the Industrial Revolution, which saw a mass migration from rural areas to the cities. People left the fields to work in factories, where machines dominated the workforce. During this period, those with money ruled the world. Today, we're in the midst of a digital revolution. In 1996, Bill Gates predicted that there would be two types of companies, those that do business online and those that will be out of business. Whether you believe it or not, that time is already here. The future Gates spoke of has arrived. Just look at your credit card. How many online purchases have you made in the past few months? How many meals have you ordered through apps? How often do you ride in cars booked via apps? Today, everything is digital. If a company or individual isn't online, they're at risk of becoming irrelevant. In the agricultural era, land was power. In the Industrial Revolution, wealth held the reins. In today's digital age, information is the new currency. And this valuable currency, information, is worth more than gold. The digital age doesn't require talent or degrees. The internet is accessible to anyone, whether as a consumer or a creator. The barrier to entry is incredibly low. Sometimes, all it takes is a smartphone to start creating digital content and making serious money. Nowadays, the best-paying job is being a digital content creator. The teachers who make the most money are the ones creating digital content. The highest-paid doctors are those producing online content. And there's room for you too, if you're interested. I'm not a doctor or particularly talented, but I've gained a lot of knowledge about creating digital content. Since 2021, I've made millions online, and now I create content without needing to appear on camera or use my own voice. The voice you're hearing isn't mine. It's generated by artificial intelligence, but the script is 100% mine. I wrote every word you're hearing, including what I'm typing right now. If you want to learn how to create videos like these, I've left a link in the description. Just click it. Many people claim they can't make money because they lack education. They aren't doctors or lawyers, or maybe they didn't finish college. But if that's how you think, then you don't understand how making money works today. You can manufacture nails and earn more than many doctors because income is based on the value you bring to others or companies. Let me give you an example. Imagine you make nails to sell. You could sell your nails to various hardware stores. You could even sell them online, generating income while you sleep. While a doctor can only attend to one patient at a time, you could sell to many people simultaneously through online stores. But if nails aren't your thing, let's consider another example. Why do some digital influencers earn more in a month than many doctors do in their entire career? Here's why. I'm going to share everything I've learned, and you can apply it to your life. Imagine I'm a digital influencer with 3 million followers. Of course, many influencers have even larger audiences. A well-known handbag brand hires me to promote their products during a 1-hour live stream. If just 1% of my followers decide to buy, that's 30,000 sales. Let's say the regular price of the handbag is $3,000, but during my live stream, I offer a special coupon that lowers the price to $900. Here's the breakdown. 30,000 people spend $900 each, generating $27 million in sales for the company in just 60 minutes. So it's fair for the brand to pay me at least $1 million for my time, right? Meanwhile, a doctor might charge $300 per consultation, which means they could see 3 patients in an hour, earning $900. In the same time, I can make 1 million as a digital influencer. Do you see the impact of the internet? While a doctor can positively affect a few lives in their office, an influencer can touch thousands, even millions, through their content. That's why I say the internet is the best business to be in today. It allows you to reach a global audience and make a massive impact. People pay you based on the value you create. If you can impact just a few people at a time, you'll earn a modest amount. But if you can influence thousands or millions of lives, your earnings will reflect that. That's the new reality. Instead of complaining, learn how to play the game. There's room for you in this space. This is why companies like Amazon, Facebook, and YouTube make billions each month. They touch the lives of billions of people. You may not create the next Amazon, but you can still become a digital content creator and impact millions with your work. I have much more to share, but if I continue, this video will be too long. So, if you'd like me to make part 2, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share this content with your family and friends, because good things are meant to be shared. Now, you'll see 2 videos on your screen that I've prepared with great care. These videos are packed with knowledge that will greatly enhance your financial life. Click on one of them and watch it now.